this postseason contest on EA Sports. Straight ahead, it's an AFC intra-conference contest between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. And we are underway in this AFC Wildcard Weekend contest. This one's fielded at the 40-yard line. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. All right, let's get this one on the road, Brock. It is 1st and 10. First give of the game here to Chase Brown. And he's going to be brought down here at the 42. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains.
I can assure you of one thing. That carry just brought some extra work in the opening quarter. You couldn't script that run any better.
42-yard line.
To the air on this 1st down, Richardson. He's going to be caught by Tyler Warren. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
The smartest pass catchers I've ever been around, they know how to set up an outcut beautifully. They recognize when they have leverage, how to sell the deep route, and then boom, they just break it out as if it's nothing.
He has this down to the 34. They pick up 14 yards on that one. And it'll be 1st down Colts.
You want to drain some of the excitement, some of the noise from a home stadium? It's exactly how you do it when you go on the road. Run it right down their throat from the jump.
Here we go. Cowboy 18, right in. 70 rings, top low 18, go.
Richardson on 1st and 10. He's got Pierce. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
Press all 80.
Working from the gun, it's Richardson. To the ground it goes, that's incomplete. All right, partner testing the perimeter early there. Coverage held up. Could be a tough day for those outside receivers to make an impact.
Okay, partner, testing you here. You've heard me say this a lot. Okay, coordinator's job is to get you man-to-man coverage, and your job is?
To win it.
60 boxes.
Richardson on 3rd. And he's caught. He's got Brown. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
Every time I see one of those angle routes, I think back to my day 1 install. Rookie minicamp in the NFL. Texas, angle route. 49ers of the 80s, they were making hay with it then. And the running back's still doing it to this day.
And he'll knife his way through for a pickup of 4.
Humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
So gain of 5 on that 1st down. Let's see if they can repeat that performance now here on 2nd. Play fake, it's Richardson. Bails out of the pocket quick. This one's caught. And he's stopped as we get closer to our first points of this ball game. It's going to be 1st and goal now.
I just don't know how you play defense, Kate, and some of the guys in the league today. How can you balance defending somebody who can run for it or throw it right over your head? These dual threat QBs, they're a nightmare.
They have it 1st and goal, an early lead available here in the postseason. It's a design run for Richardson. Well, so much for finishing things on the ground, huh? He is stopped at the line. They're going to have to regroup now on 2nd and goal.
Man, it is tough to fool this defense with how they just react to these plays, Kate. They held that line, QB keeper, it gets 0.
Trying again from the 2. It's 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Richardson. And he takes this one in. Touchdown, Indianapolis. The Colts finish up an excellent opening series. Spencer Schrader on now for the extra point. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Colts will jump out to a 7-0 lead.
Texans nothing.
The Colts ready to kick this one away, and away we go once more. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Nice starting spot for the Texans here. They're about set. 1st and 10.
All right. 18. What's up?
Well secured by Jaden Higgins. And they shove him out. Looks like he got about 6 before they did so. It's 2nd down. I'm not going to call this a must-score drive here in this first quarter, Brock, but when your opponents start the game with 6, it feels like you need some sort of answer.
You need a response, right? You need a response. You don't need all these home runs or big highlights. You just need to keep matriculating that ball down the field.
To the air, Stroud. Dumped off to his running back. All right, short on marker for the moment, but they've got 3rd and short coming up from their own 44.
It may not look like much on the stat sheet, but this is kind of good on good. An offense gets a completion, not going backwards, and a defense, well, they rallied, they pursued, and kept that screen to a minimal gain.
3rd and a lone yard coming up.
Here we go. 18. What's up?
Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. This connects with Higgins. And he fights his way down to the 35 before the defense can get him out. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And it'll be 1st down, Houston.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted them. They wanted them on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
We've set it downs from 37.
Oh, hey! Swap. Mother swap.
Here's Stroud again. That one hits the ground, incomplete, but a flag also hit the ground. Let's sort this out. So a big self-inflicted error as that personal foul moves the ball forward quite a bit. 1st and 10 for him now, following the penalty. Throwing again, it's Stroud. We've got a screen to the running back. And they can't bring him down until he gets into that red zone at the 19. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the 1st.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
We've reached the end of one in this opening round of the AFC playoffs. The Colts have taken the early lead. We'll make our return to NRG Stadium after this. Welcome back. Time for our 2nd quarter. The Texans with a chance to score. Here's Stroud on 1st and 10. Collins got it left side. And he goes out approaching that 10-yard line.
It's what these quarterbacks are having to do more often now than ever before in football. Show off a little mobility. Get outside the pocket and find that open man.
Again, Stroud. Into the end zone, but not brought in. It falls incomplete, and we'll bring up 3rd down. Well, with how well he's slinging it this opening drive, Brock, not sure we expected to see an incompletion, but his perfect start ends at 5 for 5.
Yeah, kind of the feeling out process, right? I think you find this with defensive coordinators a whole bunch, trying to figure out what that script is on the other side. I have a sense there'll be some completions and incompletions along the way.
Throw came out right as the defense got to him. That's an incomplete pass.
The numbers tell us pretty clearly, you get to 3rd and long, extra long, it's really hard to stay on the field. That's disappointing because that was 3rd and manageable and an incomplete.
All right, they're going for this. I like this being aggressive from the get-go on their opening drive. Stroud gonna go on 4th down. He's got it, complete to Collins. And they come through to stay on the field. That is enough to set this offense up with a 1st and goal.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. They're going to run here. It's Mixon. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Moving quickly, trying to get set again.
A gain of 7.
Mixon again. And he will not get in. The defense holds. Just not quite enough to break the play, and now it's 3rd and goal at the 1.
It's a 3rd and goal.
Mixon. And he runs it across. Touchdown. The Texans finish off their opening drive. It's a Joe Mixon touchdown. Well, no hesitations to start this one out, Brock. These guys came out slinging it. Seems like that's going to be what their offense leans on throughout this game.
Yeah, don't see really any reason to get away from it as long as the results keep coming. The second drive, I think we'll all be watching that one. Will they mix in a little bit more run? Will they have to mix in more run, or could they continue to just shred this defense through the air?
Here's a return from the 7. And this drive will start inside the 25.
At their own 24-yard line.
All right, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
This drive will begin with a run by Brown. Dropped by a first guy he met. No gain on that 1st down run.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on 2nd.
Shotgun snap now to Richardson. Taken in by Pierce. And he's going to be pushed out up near that 40-yard line. Give him 13 on that play. And that is good for an Indianapolis 1st down.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
1st down throw here from Richardson. The Texans closing in, and they get to him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Defense's first sack of the game, Kate. We can now see some of the negatives, the trade-offs of his great running ability. When he tries to create, well, he can find himself going backwards, and in this case, a really big loss.
Here's Richardson. Finds the in route complete. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. So a tough spot now. This is 3rd and 9. They'll air it out on 3rd. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. They get 19 on that pickup. And it'll be 1st down Colts. Quite a defensive battle, Brock, that we have got so far as we've reached our 2-minute warning. More from NRG Stadium in just a moment. 1st down from the 42. To throw, Richardson. Escapes the pocket. Left side into the hands of Warren. And he gets a small chunk there before he's touched down.
As soon as he starts to escape, Kate, you can almost see that gunslinger mentality come to life. It takes really perfect defense to hold up and keep him from finding something. Go get that 1st down. They couldn't do it right there.
Give on 2nd, it's Brown. And that short gain is enough for a new set it down. 1st and 10 from the 32. Richardson. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play. Jar it loose, incomplete. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talked about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
First time this game, they've looked to him. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long.
Fairly safe to say as that one falls incomplete this 1st half so far, It's not met the standard they set for themselves.
No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Third and long, they're going to throw. On the move, headed right. Just got it away before the hit, but it doesn't matter. It's incomplete. Fourth down coming up.
That's one of those third down situations where you're asking an awful lot of your man to make a play to keep this drive going. Too much of a contested catch there, unable to bring it in.
And that one is good. A little longer, but no problem at all. And that's going to break our tie and give them a 3-point advantage.
You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lock. So they'll happily take this and finish off the drive with points.
And this is going to bounce out of the end zone, so they will set up shop at the 35.
Their own 35-yard line.
The Texans set up nicely as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Shotgun now, first round. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down.
The lack of points and the lack of yards have just gone hand in hand here in the first half, and they both really trace back to the same root cause, an inability to consistently find and exploit any opening in what's been a very sound defensive game plan.
Connects downfield, on target to Dell. And he's going to get this down inside the 30 before he's driven out.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
So the big play has him well into enemy territory and field goal range. They're inside the 30. First down, Stroud. On target to his back, Joe Mixon. And they take him out of bounds, which means his offense setting up for 1st and goal.
Just excellent effort on that catch. And a lightning quick transition from bringing that football in to getting vertical. He was not content for a second to end that play where he caught it. Any catch he makes, his intent is to put some serious yards on top of it.
Tony.
Mixon can't push it across. They make the stand. It looks like they might have stopped him a little bit behind the line, too. And it's not just you quarterbacks, Brock Heward, who got to have short memories. You tell me this, too. Defenses need them sometimes as well.
Yeah, 100%. You give up a big run, well, too bad. No time to dwell on it because you got to line up, buckle up that chin strap, and try to knock them backwards.
Here comes the final play of our first half.
Here we go. 18. What's that?
The final throw before the break. And this is going to be a Houston touchdown. The Texans take the lead just before halftime. Manage that clock beautifully down to the final moments, Brock, and they get the score just before halftime.
That doesn't change the theme of the halftime speech, but I guarantee you it adds some enthusiasm to the tone. That was awesome.
That one right down the middle. And the Texans take a 4-point lead. So we'll see if it's a kick return that ends our half, or if we get a play from scrimmage, as this one's away. Fielded at the 7. So that's the halfway point of this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Brock and I will be back right after this. With this kick, we're back underway. A spot in the divisional round on the line. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this second half. We've got a touchback. Nice starting spot for the Texans here. They're about set. 1st and 10.
Over.
Stroud from the pistol. Throw left side, complete. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options, and there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
It's Mixon on second down. He's forward, gets a couple of yards. Reward that tackle to the effort of Leatu Latu.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Here they go, getting set for 3rd and 4.
On the quick, right?
Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. Buys time, rolling right. And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up. The Texans set to punt. And this somehow is only going to be our first punt of the game. And his job's done, and it is a job well done. That punt finds deep into enemy territory, out of bounds at the 7. First call here coming from the shotgun. Working from the gun, it's Richardson. Works it past the 20, and they'll get him down at the 25-yard line. A 19-yard pickup, and that's going to move the chains.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
And he has it right near midfield here. Looks like about a yard short. Give him 24 on that play. And that is good for an Indianapolis first down.
First down. 24-yard gain on the
From
play.
the shotgun, it's Richardson.
Indianapolis.
It's caught, Warren. And they make the tackle at the 38. It's a gain of 12 on that one. And it'll be first down Colts. Richardson to throw again. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. A gain of 15 there. And that is good for an Indianapolis first down.
A gain of 15. First down.
They take the handoff, now Richardson. Ball in left side. And they make the stop as that play reaches the 14-yard line.
That wasn't going anywhere else on that play. It's one of the ones called specifically for the tight end because they know he's able to get a good release off that play action, and then he gets himself in space to do some damage.
And they take it across the goal line for an Indianapolis touchdown. The Colts grab the lead on their first series of the half. That one splits the uprights. And the Colts push their lead to 3.
17. Texans 14.
The Colts ready to kick this one away, and away we go once more. And that kickoff is into and then out of the end zone, so we got a touchback. This drive will start at the 35.
35-yard line.
Texans set up nicely as they come up to the line, 1st and 10.
Speed left, speed slot. Hey, uno.
From the gun, Stroud. That one's caught along the left sideline. And he is hauled down right at that midfield stripe. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
I'll be honest with you, Kate. As you grow and develop as a quarterback, your arm gets stronger. These comebacks can be one of your favorite throws in your arsenal. Because if you trust yourself and you throw it before that defender breaks, you know there's yards to be had on the perimeter.
Has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to be driven out of bounds. The gain gets this down inside the 35. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
Here we go. At 18. What's up? Hey, uno.
Mixon on the counter. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
Hey, not a bad play by any means, but there's room for more, and they know it.
Second and 7.
After the 3-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 7.
Here we go.
Stroud completes it quick. And they stop him. He's marked down on that 18-yard line. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
Here we go. 18.
Here's Stroud on 1st and 10. Finds him over the middle. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line. 1 quarter to go, Brock, and we'll see who can earn the wild card win. It's Texans ball. We'll see if they can come up with something and stave off elimination. Second and 3 now.
Two jets. Robin.
Staying between the tackles with Mixon. Pop on the line here on 2nd down, which is only going to make things tougher for this 3rd down coming up. With each carry he gets, Brock, I'm starting to wonder, is this going to be the last touch that he gets in this game? Because it hasn't been a great performance for him.
No, individually, collectively, and you can look up front, right? They've just not been winning the battle enough push, enough drive to get this running game going.
3rd down and 4 now. This is the 7th play in this drive.
Hey, Uno Mars. Hey, south. 18.
Throwing is Stroud. Throws caught. And this drive is going to continue. He's taken down at the 2 on 3rd down. They've got themselves a 1st and goal.
That pitch and catch won't show up as a big play on the stat sheet, but it gives his own defense a little time to rest. It gives an offensive coordinator a new set of downs to work with.
How's the snap? Hey. 18. Let's hit.
Mixon's going to try to punch it in. And he's over the line and in. Touchdown, Houston. The Texans take a 4th quarter lead. It's a Joe Mixon touchdown. Well, we all knew what was coming when they got into that goal line formation, didn't we, Brock? And they just pound the rock in for an old school touchdown.
I just sometimes love that stuff. Nothing fancy, nothing cute. Here's our formation. You know we're running right at you, and we challenge you to stop us, and you can't.
That one right down the middle. And the Texans take a 4-point lead.
Score Texans 21, Colts 17.
The kicking team all ready for the Texans, and forward they run to send it away. Fields this one at the 3. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Ready.
Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. 1st and 10.
Tag. 19, Tiger.
Shotgun snap now to Richardson. Chased out to his right. Now here he goes. And he's going to be pushed out up near that 40-yard line. Pickup of 12 on that play. And it'll be 1st down Colts.
Well, I think he was looking for that running lane and that running room from the very start right there, partner. Even as he worked through his progression initially, he was waiting for space to open, and then he takes advantage with his legs.
New set of downs for him. They'll start at the 38. To the air on this 1st down, Richardson. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up second down.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
After the incompletion, still at the 38, it's second and 10. Back to the air, it's Richardson. And someone stepped in, it's intercepted. Azeez Al-Shire has it. And the Texans take over as he records his 10th career INT. Second down, they go pass here, and it's intercepted to kill the drive.
And that is one way defensively to get your teammates off the field. That was all about anticipation. Great move there by the defender to take it away and put his offense on the field.
18, what's up?
Stride to throw on first down. He set up the screen to Higgins. And he runs this to the 25 before being brought down. That's 16 on the pickup. And it'll be a first down, Texans.
So many times, Kate, when I see these receiver screens, I think punt return. It's like a punt return. On punt return, it's all about those blocks. The returner's got to catch it, and he's got to feel those blockers in front of him. It's no different on a big play like this with the wide receiver screen.
All right. 18, what's up?
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. Give him 5 on that play as he gets him inside the red zone.
Some offenses, well, they prefer to go run in that RPO situation. It's a safer call, a little more conservative. But in this case, it gets him just as many yards as a short completion would have.
18, what's up?
To the air, Stroud. They'll send it out wide to Collins. And he's able to get this down to the 13. 6 yards on the play and enough for a first.
So critical, Kate, on those receiver screens to get that ball out with great precision. You don't want that receiver thinking about anything but navigating the blocks in front of him. That's well done by everybody.
Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And they take this in for the score. The Texans pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. Well, he found himself some space to work, and from there, all athleticism as he made his way in for 6.
You know, you run the ball down in the red zone, Kate, you're not always thinking touchdowns, right? Space is so hard to come by. But you're exactly right. His athleticism, his explosion, his speed, it puts 6 on the board for the offense.
The kicking team all ready for the Texans, and forward they run to send it away. This return starts at the 5. All right, and in the end, Buck, this is going to make it out to the 30.
At their own 30-yard line.
Ready.
Indianapolis bringing the offense to the line. Here's first and 10. Back to work after throwing the pick. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And nice work by the defense to start this drive out. It's a sack on the first play.
That was a situation where I think the previous drive, really affected the decision-making there. Coming off a pick, he wasn't about to challenge the coverage. Instead, he just took his medicine.
Trying to throw this from the gun. Finds him on the slant. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 10.
That takes us to the 2-minute warning in Houston. Colts at a 2-score deficit. Texans bring out an extra DB on this 3rd down. They'll throw, 3rd and long. Down the field, he's got Pierce. And in a blink, they are off to midfield before somebody manages to stop him. So 20 yards on that play. And that is good for an Indianapolis first down.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about two things: separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks, that's the trust, and then they got to believe that that separation can create the big play down the field.
This is hauled in by T. Higgins. And he's going to be drugged down, looks like at that 37-yard line. That's going to go as a gain of 13 yards. And it'll be first down, Colts.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Brown on the inside give. And this play's nearly going to reach that 25-yard line. Defender there to take him out just short of it. And gain 11 on that play.
I think we've all become very accustomed, and I'll raise my hand and say these tight ends are almost like bona fide receivers, big receivers. But they show you right there, and they can be powerful blockers. It can make a huge difference in the run game.
And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. Offense is set. This is 2nd and 2. Here we go. There's one final shot. And that one hits the ground incomplete. A single second left now on the clock. All right, one more snap to play here.
Let's hear it, Texans fans, 'cause it's
one final shot here. Flushed out of the pocket. And all that pursuit pays off. They track him down and drop him well behind the line of scrimmage. So it's the Texans who defend their building and take the win.